She likes chocolate covered strawberries and wine. She likes notes that say I love you all the time. Roses at your feet, baby girl be mine. Baby girl be mine.
My name is Mai'a. This is obviously my channel. I go to UNLV. I'm majoring in hospitality. I'm 21 years old, and we're not going to talk about what year I'm in. But I want you guys to all know that it's okay to not graduate in 4 years. We're normalizing that around. On this channel, that's what we're doing. These two girls are my best friends. I've been friends with this one for 9 years, right?
I think so. Yeah.
9 years. I've been friends with this one for 7 years. So yeah, 9 and 7 years. This is my middle school best friend, and this is my high school best friend.
My name is Tamesia. I go to the University of Puget Sound in Tacoma, Washington. I'm a rising senior, so I'm going into my last year. Anything else?
It's very like Zoom presentation, like, okay.
How old are you?
I'm 21 years old.
Your turn.
Why we gotta put ages out there?
Am I just single?
First of all, we all are.
Name's Anijah. Go to Sacramento State. My major is communication, and I'm 20.
I'm a
Did I miss
communications
anything?
major as well.
Okay, to be honest, I just wanted to do a Q&A with them because I've never done a Q&A with them before. I guess we could start off with how we all became friends, because we're like a trifecta now. I obviously became friends with Tamesia first. We became friends the summer of 7th grade at a summer program.
Summer program.
And she tried to pit me out. So
No,
she tried to fit me out, and we're just
no child sex trafficking or anything like that over here. I went to school with a man in question who should not be named. There was a party that was happening. My middle school was K through 8. I started going there during middle school, so like all these kids had grown up with each other. And for this party, this guy interested in seeing new people, and he's a black guy. He's not a guy. He is a black man.
Is he?
Yes. He's half black, half white, like many people in this world are.
Get to the
Right, get to the point.
So he wanted to see new people, and he asked me if I had any cute black friends, and we weren't friends at the time, but I knew that she was a cute black girl.
We were not clarifying. We were not friends.
I said that. You didn't
And
have
she
to.
gave homeboy the 2 options of me and my other black friend, and he picked me.
I was a matchmaker. I didn't pimp anybody out. Did she go to that party? No. She didn't go to that.
Did I end up in a situationship with him for like 8 years? Yes, I did. We're past that. Anywho, how Anijah and I became friends. We met in high school, obviously. She already had this friend group, and I was the new girl. I didn't know anybody when we came to high school, so we were in the same friend group, but we never actually talked to each other. Okay, it's not like we didn't like each other or anything like that, but it wasn't she brought me into the group and I was her friend, if that makes any sense. And I also had my own group of friends that I was kind of with, so there was that, and I feel like that's the reason why we weren't close. But we ended up getting close because homegirl tried to fight me in the chemistry room, and then Anijah texted me that day and asked me if my hair was okay because everybody was making it seem
You had to call. You needed a quick answer.
yeah, because everybody was making it seem like, oh, my hair got pulled out. She's still here. She's strong. She's lengthy now. That's how me and Anijah became friends. And then these two basically linked up at a football game that we're not going to talk about.
With redacted users. Redacted users football game.
So that is the story of...
Weirdly, we've been close ever since.
Yeah, that's the story of us. So I guess now we're going to start our questions. I guess we're going to generalize this around college.
College girl talk.
Yeah.
All
And then
the
if you
above.
guys have any other questions or anything, you guys can comment them and we can do a part 2 or something like that. Okay, Tamesia, pick a question. Very nice. How have we maintained our friendship considering we all go to different schools? We definitely all live in different states. I don't know.
It's just a lot of FaceTiming.
Yeah,
Shout
we
out
literally
to group
FaceTime every day or every other day.
But I don't know. I wouldn't even say it's that because we have been friends for 9 years, but 4 years of it, we did not talk all like that. You would never know that now.
Definitely had gone months without talking, but then every time we did talk, it was like no time had passed. Having that sort of stability, knowing that you don't have to constantly be texting or talking to somebody every day.
We fall into a routine.
We have the routine of knowing that somebody needs to call, which is, you know, I'm not gonna, it's always me. I'm always
gonna
gonna
call.
I called a lot too.
I called today.
No, so you call. First of all, you only called because you were mad that I said that I was gonna put on makeup. That's the only reason why you called. I call for any inconvenience.
My calls whenever she needs to chat.
My shoe was untied and I'm calling them.
That's a good transition in finding close friends in college. Is that easy? Is that hard? Because I think we've all had very different experiences. So like, how is it moving from like stable friendships back home to going to college
I
and
never
things
had
being
stable friendships.
She's a stable
I mean, other than that, but
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
We definitely hung out a lot.
I feel like when I moved out to Vegas, it was a really big adjustment for the both of us because we're literally each other's only friends. Besides Tunisia, we literally only talk to each other on a daily basis.
Oh, and they answered them. I didn't make friends in school. So, home every weekend.
I'm naturally introvert when I don't know people, so I don't really branching out, and I don't really, I don't know. If any of you guys have ever seen me in person and you guys come up to me and you're like, oh my god, I like your channel, I definitely freeze up because I don't interact with people. So it just makes me uncomfortable because I don't know anybody. So I wasn't a social person when I first went to UNLV. I became friends with Jelly because we were roommates, and then Jelly put me in a group chat with all these other girls, and then that's when I became friends with other people who I'm no longer friends with.
Redacted user.
The group chat made branch out like a little bit, but I only got one close friend out of that group chat, and so then it was kind of just me, her, and Jelly, and then we all hung out, but she had other friends, so sometimes we'd hang out with them. Towards my second year is when I started branching out and making more friends, but it was because I worked at Starbucks, so then I learned to make friends from those people. As of right now, I literally am only really close with Jelly and best friend, and I feel like I can't even really count him as that. So I'm starting to get to know 3 other girls that I DM kind of constantly. We have plans to hang out, so I feel like reaching out to people on social media really helps. And also because, you know, we're black, so like we have stuff to talk about now, if I'm being completely honest. That's why we're friends. But now you guys can talk to the social queen over here who has like 50 million friends. And
remember she was in a fraternity?
Yeah. The one little chocolate drop in the freaking fraternity.
That was for a second. I went to a 4-year college right after high school. I am a part of like a scholarship group, so I knew people going into school who were also in that scholarship group. So we're all from the Bay Area, so we knew each other from then. We spent from January till August basically getting to know each other once a week, and so out of that I went into college really close with one girl, and
she goes on that name.
Right, with redacted user. My roommate, my freshman year, we had known each other since we were like 9 years old. I had gone into college knowing people for like a really long time, so I didn't really feel nervous about making friends or anything like that because I'm a naturally outgoing person, so I felt like I would meet the people that I was supposed to meet, and then I also felt comfortable having a group going into college. Over the course of my freshman year, I met a lot of different people throughout my freshman year to like the end of my junior year, and I haven't started my senior yet, so like during the course of my junior year I've had a lot of friendship switches, you know, just things not working out with people. Now I'd say all of the close friends that I made have just graduated. They're class of 2020, are no longer at the school, and so my senior year will look a little bit different, but I do have some really cool people and really good friends who are also still in my year. It'll just look different because I'm used to have a lot of people around me, and now that group has been minimized because people have graduated, but it is what it is. That's how life goes.
Are we talking about roommates now?
We've all had experiences with roommates. I think Anijah might be the funniest one.
Not
but
funny. It's very traumatizing.
we'll just talk about our experience with having roommates.
I really don't know where to begin. She was nice. We both had like, we were both very different. Not really, but kind of. She was
white.
Yeah, witches. You didn't know that?
Yeah, you never knew about
her, but
oh, I didn't bleep her name out.
I knew about her. I just didn't know she was white.
You know,
she wasn't very
girl doing that.
Clean.
I thought,
and she was I don't even know. I don't even know what to be. Yeah, basically, you know, running me out the room because I'm not confrontational, but I had to.
There was times to where I don't know if I should say his name.
Just say
there was a time when Danny and I went to. Did we go pick you up?
Yeah, you guys came to pick me up.
We came to pick Anijah up from school, and we were in the dorms, and sis had dirty panties on the floor. Like it was good. It was just not it.
It was hair everywhere. It was just a mess. Dirty clothes everywhere.
You want to talk about that one time that you yelled at her, or no? You don't.
Oh, she was that was like the worst part, honestly.
Yeah, I thought we were.
I walked in.
Turn it up.
I walked in on her a couple times with different guys. She's supposed to have a boyfriend, you know. Got really weird in the middle of the night. Not even the middle of the night sometimes. Because at one point I was up sitting up 9 o'clock, light on, and she was doing it, and I'm looking at. She was sitting up doing homework, and I was like, so this is just a show.
She was doing homework while doing it?
Not like making a noise.
Right.
Yeah, so she was just a weird one. After that, never had a roommate again.
Yeah, she's been living single.
For me, like I said, my freshman year, I didn't want to have like a randomly assigned roommate. I was kind of scared of having like a terrible roommate experience, so I thought rooming with somebody that I know would be a good idea. And I think if basically the friendship with that person was kind of dead before we got to college, but we were trying to keep it alive. Yeah, so I think that just wasn't the best idea. I acted out a year instead instead of, you know, trying to take a risk, and maybe I would have had a best friend who was my roommate per se. But yeah, it was fine. It was just like very neutral, nothing super exciting. We were kind of different. And then my sophomore year, I lived in a suite with 4 other people, and honestly that was super fun.
So 5 total?
Yeah, 5 people. I was really close with this one girl. Her and like this other girl that I was friends with from my scholarship group were like the only 2 people that I knew going into that room. I was supposed to be living with another friend, but she ended up taking a semester off, so we had 2 randomly assigned roommates, and those girls were super nice, super chill. Yeah, we tried to be like a little sweet family, so it was a good time. But yeah, it worked out. Honestly, the only times that it was kind of negative is when me and my closest friend were fighting, and it threw off the house dynamic since we were like the 2 very central figures to the suite. So when we were fighting, it was definitely palatable in the space, and then it was awkward because we'd be fighting and then we like lived next door to each other. So that's the only thing. Then my junior year, I lived in like a single in a flat. So there were like 13 people on my floor, and but I had my own room. And then I lived next door to one of my friends and then the other girl from my suite, but we ended up not being friends halfway through the first semester of my junior year. So that was again awkward, seeing someone that you're not friends with anymore on your suite all the time. Had a good time. I liked having my own space, and then my friend was still next door, so like we were always like knocking on each other's doors, like hanging out, doing shenanigans and stuff.
That just threw me off because I was like, wasn't you in London?
Well, that was second semester. Yeah, and then second semester of my junior year, I studied abroad in London, so I had my own room, and I lived in like a dorm-esque building.
Freshman year, first semester, I obviously met Jelly and we were roommates. We just randomly like got assigned to be roommates and then became inseparable, and then I got asked to leave UNLV. I did not have the funds. So then, but I came back strong second semester, and they roomed me with somebody else, and she was crazy, and I'm pretty sure she was crawling over me in the middle of the night, turn off the heater, and she would argue with our suite mates about toilet paper.
Is that the one who was always copying you too?
No.
Oh.
Halfway through second semester of my first year at UNLV, I ended up moving back in with Jelly. Like, we moved into a new unit, and then I had her. And then after that, we moved to the degree, which you guys all know I live in now. I had 3 other roommates. Is like, if you really want to know, or if you really care, the vlogs are up. I'm not going to take them down. But there were 4 of us total inside of our unit. We were all friends. Well, I was friends with everybody at first. Everybody was my friend. So I kind of just brought them all together. Clearly, that didn't work out. Yeah, so it was Jelly, and then me and my other 2 roommates. And then after first semester, one of the girls moved out, and we got a new roommate halfway, or like a little bit into the second semester, and let's just say some criminal acts happened, and my check came signed. Somebody
Not by you.
Not by me. Somebody was trying to steal my first little check from my job. So yeah, now we had to cut. So yeah, I guess you want to talk about like our future plans on where we're gonna live like next year?
Sure, I'll be at home.
I was supposed to be living in a house, my own room, on campus house, but you know, still fine. Did the like housing application process, but I ended up at the short end of the stick getting a double room instead of a single, and I don't want a double room, so I'm having them move me back into the dorms, which is like not what I really want, but like at the end of the day I have my own room, so that's really the priority. But they're not trying to give me a room, so it's in the works.
And I will be moving to a new student apartment building that is not the degree, because I can make a whole video on the degree and why you should not live there. But we're not going to be disrespectful because I still owe them July rent. So
next we're going to talk about homesickness and depression and how we dealt with that, what kind of things we were feeling at the time. I guess I can start. So when I got to college, I was ready to be there. I was like, fuck my home. So I wasn't sick about shit. I was sick about going back. That being said, when people at my school were just like getting on my nerves, there was like a lot of drama, there was like a lot of toxic shit happening, I was happy to be able to go back home, but I never craved going home in the sense that like I missed it, because I really like my freedom of college. I really like my friends. I like, you know, being able to just like have my own space and do my own thing, like literally like become an adult and my own person. The negatives though were just where I go to school, you really need a car to get around, and I don't have that, nor do I have a license. So it's very difficult for me to even go to the store to, you know, to get the things that I need, or if I wanted to literally go to the park, I can't just walk there. So that's really hard for me. So I'm really confined to my school campus whenever I can get off campus, because when my friends has a car, we like super look forward to it, versus like when I'm at home, I can walk wherever I need to go, and I can like take public transportation to wherever I need to go. That's really like the only thing that I kind of like about going home. I think the depression part was linked into homesickness, but again, I didn't really miss going home, but I definitely was depressed at times during college, specifically like last semester when I was having a lot of friendship issues and like I wasn't friends with two people that I was really close to anymore. So like that was really hard when your foundation kind of is shaken, but it just made me realize that the people who are in my life who are the ones who are supposed to be there. Honestly, the people that aren't supposed to be there just got taken away. And you know, there's really nothing you can do about that but continue like growing and like being who you're supposed to be. So
I don't even know. Okay, so for school wise, my freshman year, that was hard. That was very hard because I didn't make no friends, and I'm an introvert, so I wasn't going to go look for no friends. What I do, I would end up going home like almost every weekend. And I didn't have transportation either. Well, we did the bus and stuff, but I didn't know where to go by myself. And what else? So then the last 2 years, I had my car. I would go see family and still come home every weekend. More so just be out and about. I don't have to just sit in one place. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know. I don't deal.
My first, like technically like my first year of college, the year right after high school, was really hard for me because she left and she was my only friend, and then she was all the way in Washington, so I couldn't even like, even though we didn't really see each other that much, it was still like she was making like new friends and stuff like that. So it was hard for me. Like the only person that I would really talk to or hang out with was Danny. So I think that, like, crazy enough, like even though that was the year that I was home and I just like commuted to school, that was like the hardest year for me college wise, because it felt like I was a failure because all my friends were out here going to 4 years and I was going to a JC, which it honestly was the best thing that could have happened for me because I ended up finding my actual major and I ended up learning all about the actual major that I wanted to go into through going to a JC, so I don't regret it. And then by the time it was time for me to leave to go to Vegas, I was ready to go. Literally at my going away party, I said, thank you all for coming, but it's time for me to go. And I was basically like rushing my mom out the door when she was dropping me off at the dorm, so I was like, I'm trying to hit this party. Turn it up. I feel like it wasn't, when I had first started college, it wasn't like I was just excited to experience something new and something different. And I think I also had to do with the fact that my aunt and my uncle lived down the street, not like down the street, but my aunt and my uncle lived in Vegas, so it wasn't like I was out there by myself. And I mean, to be honest, whenever I wanted to come home, my dad would just fly me home. Like I feel like I came home a lot more than normal people do, I feel, when it was time for college. And then I don't know, I just always had a lot of fun because I feel like I was always, even though I was introvert, I was never really like home. I feel like as soon as I met best friend, it was kind of just like I'm always out. And I didn't have a car my first year either.
You say you're introvert, but I feel like very rarely.
No, I feel like
she is an introvert.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm an introvert when it comes to meeting new people. Once I'm friends with you, like
yeah,
I'm definitely the extrovert of the group. I don't know, but there's like a lot of shit that's wrong with me that I found out like through college. Like I never knew I had anxiety until college, so there's that.
Like I did, but like I didn't.
I didn't know it was as severe as it was until I went to college.
Oh,
yeah.
I definitely dealt with bad anxiety my first semester.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't even take main stairs. I would like go the long way through the hallway.
The three of us have definitely grown up very sheltered.
Yeah.
Compared to a lot of people, because I feel like we're not society's norm of black people. You know what I mean?
In what way?
I know what you mean, but you didn't explain
they don't know it.
Yeah,
but they don't know it.
Because I don't know how to explain it. Like because I don't want to make it seem like we're better than anyone, but it's just I feel like we have a very like basic lifestyle, you know, that people try and say black people don't have. All of us, we all have our parents. None of us have deadbeat parents.
You're talking about stereotypes.
Yeah,
like we don't adhere to like
the
stereotypes.
Right, because I don't know, I feel like we're kind of in the middle because we're all black girls who go to college, but we also all don't go to HBCUs. We all go to PWIs, so it's just very, very different. And I feel like I definitely think that I would be different if I did go to HBCU than a PWI, but I mean, at the end of the day, education is education, in my opinion. And I'm just rambling at this point, but because it's on my head, so now it's making me mad.
At the end of the day, you gonna leave with us. Well, you might not leave. Not us per se, but some people might not leave.
Some people might not leave with a degree.
Right, but
now, like with everything everything going on, it's like, well, why aren't you going to an HBCU and why this and why that? And I feel like it doesn't make us any less
right HBCU education.
And it also doesn't make us any less black for not going to an HBCU.
I definitely think it's like more common for black kids to go to PWIs than it is for an HBCU. But HBCUs are very loud about their HBCU like lifestyle and like presence. But that like I just don't think that that's like mainstream for everybody. Like I really do think like most black students go to PWIs, but
especially like we live in California. So.
And we don't have a main HBCU out here.
But they're all over there.
Yeah, we're over here. Yeah. We don't
like that out-of-state tuition.
And HBCUs just like don't have a lot of funding like PWIs do. So
and it's
you're going into debt to be able to like have college experience.
Right.
I mean, obviously that's not everyone's experience, but I would have gone into debt like trying to go to Spelman. So
and it's like for me also, I feel like I couldn't have gone to any other school besides UNLV because my degree is hospitality. I'm literally right there on the strip where all of that is hospitality. I don't think if I would have gone to Clark, I would be working at the Four Seasons, you know?
I just know my parents wasn't sending me to HBCU.
And I definitely think
I just knew the way that my scholarship was set up.
But I also think we definitely all have like protective parents as well. And I feel like deep down our parents wouldn't have wanted us to be that far anyway.
Nope.
So
I couldn't even go to San Jose.
Really?
So, yeah. And I I wanted to go to LA, and my dad was like, nope. And so when I didn't get accepted, he was happy. And I was like, wow, I'm about to cry.
But it's still all in the same state.
Yeah, I couldn't leave California.
But why didn't he want you to even go to San Jose?
Because it was still too far.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Working and going to school is our next one.
Oh.
I guess you go first because you have.
The VA pays for my tuition. So because of that, I can't make a certain amount of money because I'm a dependent. So because of that, I only work weekends. And that's pretty much it. I don't know. It's very simple. It doesn't really matter the amount of hours, but it's just easier for me to work weekends. So I cut it down to 12 hours.
Do you think it affects your school in any, like you going to work or no?
No, just because of the type of student I am.
So me,
she do everything under the rainbow.
Right.
My school, I started off working for the technology services department, and I really liked that job. I love my boss, I love my coworkers, and honestly at that job, that's where I met a lot of people that I became friends with or would see around school through that job because I worked with like a lot of students. And then I applied to be a writing advisor at my school. So I've been a writing advisor since my sophomore year, and I help out students at, you know, any stage of the writing process. Yeah, I've helped Mai'a with some papers.
A lot. Probably owe her some money, bro.
No, you're fine. My sophomore year, I think I like tried to do both jobs because I didn't kind of felt bad about like quitting one. So like my sophomore year, I worked both jobs, but that's like it was not happening. Like I had to split my time between the two places, and I was half-assing it. Honestly, like I wouldn't show up to some shifts, and like I was late, or like it was just a mess. So my junior year, I was like, I'm just gonna do one job, and so I stuck with the writing job. The only other job I think I've had at my school is as like a student caller for like our alumni donations office, but like I didn't like that job at all, and I ended up walking out. So that could be another story time. When I would come home for the summers, I would have my ice cream job or like internships. So
the whole time I was in college, I worked at Starbucks, but they were canceled, so but anyways,
they've been canceled before this, so
I know. But I worked at Starbucks. They got a good 3 years out of me. I definitely think it did affect, working at Starbucks did affect me at school wise, because I decided that I was going to be the one to get up and go to work at 3:30 in the morning and then get off at 9 and go to my 10 a.m. class right afterwards, and then not be done with my classes from on Tuesdays and Thursdays until 8:30.
Yeah, she was bugging.
Yeah.
So I definitely think that affected me, but I feel like I held my ground pretty well just because I only went to school 2 days out of the week. When I came back home, that's another story. For the most part, like I did it. If I had to choose again, I wouldn't do it. But then I started working as a lifeguard. I love that job, even though
What are your hours there?
Go back.
Is it like after school? Is it before school?
I was working before Corona happened. happen.
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Before Corona came, I was working 9 to 5, so I just wasn't working on the days that I had classes.
Oh,
okay.
So like those whole days I could dedicate to just school, and then I still got to go to work. But even on some days of work, I only worked half shifts, so I only worked from like 9 to 12.
Oh, that's not bad.
And so then I still had the whole rest of the day, and I was getting paid $3 more than I was at Starbucks, and I was getting more hours. That's also a downfall in Vegas. Minimum wage is like $9.75.
I do want to say with my job, they work around my class schedule, so I'll have shifts like in the morning or the afternoon or the evening. It's all dependent on,
for the most
everyone
part,
else's
I
schedule.
think that jobs, I don't know why, like there's this stigma that jobs don't work around, like certain jobs don't work around school schedules, but from everyone that I know and all the jobs that I've been to, everybody's pretty freaking accommodating to a college schedule.
The next question is, do college students really only eat ramen noodles?
I don't eat noodles at all.
She hates noodles. She don't like spaghetti. Only noodles that she'll eat is Alfredo.
Dang, you don't even like mac and cheese?
I like mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Okay, but she
I
don't
eat
be
pasta.
eating it like that.
We're talking about ramen noodles. Sodium. Nobody wants that. That was my whole childhood. I don't need it now.
I feel like I go into phases that's what I want. Like it's not. We don't have to. It's not a have to
Situation.
Do I want to? Ramen noodles? No. Spicy Korean noodles.
That's what I was gonna say. I was
I
like,
like
you like to do
chow mein.
the spicy noodle challenges and bowls and stuff.
First of all, it's not a challenge. That's a meal.
Yeah. They had like these chow mein instant meal things I like. That's the only ones I'll eat.
Right. The whole time I've been in college, I've never had ramen noodles. I've had spicy noodles.
My parents
That's it.
and friends and family sent me like boxes of food. Honestly, my freshman year, because they thought I was just gonna go hungry. They truly believed that college students were broke and hungry.
I mean, we're broke.
Yeah, we're broke, but we're not
We
hungry.
gonna eat.
That's one thing we gonna do. So like they did
I
send
may not
me
have my
like,
rent money, but
that's what I eat. Yeah, they sent me ramen noodles. They literally sent me like the cup of noodles. They sent me like cereal. They sent me peanut butter and like all that kind of stuff. But at my school, if you live on campus, you have to have a meal plan.
Same.
So I would be eating the meal plan food, like, or the meal plan food, like at the cafeteria with my meal plan.
What did you guys call yours?
The
Like your
sub.
cafeteria.
Ours is called the sub, and that stands for Student Union Building because they have the offices and everything else in there. So we just call it the sub.
I don't remember. I've been in there a couple of times and that's it. So I don't even remember.
And we called it the DC.
Oh yeah, that's what it's called. The Dining Commons. Yeah, DC.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
You gonna
forgot.
go eat at the DC? Come on, let's
Yeah.
go to the DC.
We're like, can we go to the sub? Can I get sub water?
The way my meal plan works, we have a store and
Oh yeah, we have a store too.
I spend most of my time.
Yeah, we also have this place called The Cellar. It's our after hours eating place because our dining hall closes at 10 p.m. and you can go to The Cellar from like 6 p.m. till midnight.
That's nice.
No, till 1 I think. Till 1. You can order pizza, you can get ice cream of like an ice cream bar.
I miss it.
But it's expensive.
You have to pay. It's not with your meal plan.
It is, but
Oh.
it's expensive.
Ours was
You
ours
run out of
went
your
by.
meal plan eventually. Your points.
Ours is points. I never ran out of points.
I never
Yeah,
ran
because
out
you
of-
had like the highest one.
No,
Boy.
I can't. No, last semester I had
Okay,
green.
okay, but when Anijah first went to school, Anijah had the highest thing. When I tell you I was up there almost every weekend using Anijah's points, I was bringing home like cases of root
You weren't
beer.
even up there every weekend because let me tell you, I had anxiety, so I didn't like leaving my room because like I was just like I would never go to the store to use my points. And basically they all collected. How many points did I have? I probably had like 400.
It was a lot, and everything
It
was
was
like
like
1 to like 3 points.
Yeah, nothing was like over that. When I tell you, I left with like buckets of candy.
That happens
And
at the end of
sodas.
the year at my school too.
That doesn't
Yeah.
happen for me.
Because
Good
people
times.
just have like leftover shit, so they'll buy cases and cases and stuff. And people who like live there over the summer, they're just, I'm good.
They clear out. No,
Yeah.
everyone, we clean. Like they
They
literally
clean it
leave
out.
stuff in cases because
Yep.
they know.
That
Yeah.
people are about to just
Yeah.
pick it up
Yeah.
in case.
But like, let me get that whole box of Kit
Right.
Kats.
Our college professors really as chill as people think.
Yes.
I would,
It depends.
yeah, it depends on who the professor is as like a person, as their teaching style. I think that all the professors that I have are just like faculty members that I like interact with. It depends on what you mean by chill. It's like, oh, you're gonna round this D up to a B plus? No, they're not gonna do that. But they are really accommodating. They are really
Yeah, that's
supportive.
what they are.
Especially this semester, I feel like.
I don't know. I feel like at my school, I don't know what they did at UNLV, but just the professors that, I don't know. What I also recommend is going on Rate My Professor
Yes.
and looking, because I've yet to have a bad professor because I looked up all my professors on Rate My Professor and saw how they were. But all the teachers that I've had feel like they genuinely love their job. If you're a hospitality student, you better go to Carl. Man! man. Love Carl. That was like, I'm so mad he doesn't teach upper level classes. That was really my guy.
My professors this semester or last semester, whatever, they didn't care about nothing. Like, I mean, they cared, but not. I don't know how to explain it.
This semester was a mess. Let's just say it was definitely a learning experience for a lot of people.
Should we say like relation things for ratchet ones?
Yeah.
Okay.
Difficulty of high school and college.
It just depends on the type of student you are.
Yeah, because for me, I genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, feel that college is not hard. It's just about time management and being able to do the work. That's just me personally. I also am going to school to learn how to be nice, so.
Yeah, and we're communication, so that don't help either. So we got the easiest major.
We're not STEM majors or anything like that, so it could be harder, but just in our situation.
Yeah, in my situation, my high school was harder for me than college was.
She also went to private high school. We went in public.
Well, yeah, I went to like a really rigorous high school, and so they are essentially preparing you for college. It was just like very difficult for me, I think. So I also went to a private middle school, but I feel like the difficulty level definitely jumped. I just didn't have the resources to be successful. Yeah, it just like wasn't it for me. But then when I went to college, it was basically high school repeated, so I knew what to expect. I knew how to do all the things that they were asking for me. I did a lot better, or I'm doing a lot better in college than I did in high school, just simply because I like know how academia works now.
I was a business major at first, and that was a fail. I failed every class. Well, not GE, but all my business classes. Yeah, all my business classes I failed. So that was hard, but it wasn't like the course level was hard. It was because I didn't apply myself. Like as much as I could have. And I changed my major to communications, and I'm just better at like writing versus all that math and numbers that had to do with business. It just depends on how you apply yourself. Our high school wasn't hard at all either because it's project-based learning, and I also felt like for me that project-based learning prepared me for communication classes.
I would say that for communications, at least, all the programs at like different colleges are different. So like what I'm doing, Anija's not doing. That isn't to say that all communications is essentially the same. So it really is about just leveraging like what you're interested in and like what you're good at. My communications classes are hard as hell. Again, like they both said, it's about applying yourself. I really want to do well in my major, so I'm gonna spend all of this extra time putting out a paper that like I'm proud of, wanting my professors to think that I'm a good student, honestly, because when you show that like you care about the work and the product that you're producing, they're gonna be more inclined to help you, especially like when you need recs written for like jobs or whatever. So
also, you probably haven't taken upper division since you got there, and I have not. So they probably are about to be hard. I just won't know until next semester. But the lower division has been very easy.
Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Come back for part 2.
I'm very excited.
Okay, bye.
Bye, friends.